WFXR News Weather First, Virginia's most accurate forecast.
We had some cloud cover to start the day, but the sun came out and it was a lovely afternoon. Now, I am keeping an eye on a storm up in New England. Now, normally we'd look to the west for storms to come our way, but this could throw back some cooler air and a little bit of cloud cover into the Commonwealth. So, again, that is why I'm monitoring that. But overall, it is going to be a relatively quiet pattern. Today was almost perfect. Temperatures really close to where they should be for this time of year. Will we do that again tomorrow? I'll have that in my full forecast in just a couple minutes. But until then, WFXR News first at 10 starts right now.
Now on WFXR News First at 10.
The commercialization of children is illegal, and the commoditization of children is simply evil.
A county leader is accused of running a multi-state adoption scam. Tonight at 10, the charges he's now facing after nearly 70 adoptions spanning about 3 years.
The FBI says a local city is being put on the map for having one of the most violent crime rates in Virginia. We'll tell you which one and show you how the Commonwealth's crime rate compares to other states.
It's a celebration of what we've been through, and we still don't know what's to come, but we can celebrate the here and now, and we are survivors.
We'll take you to Martinsville Speedway as William Byron and Kurt Busch honor those who have battled breast cancer in an annual tradition.
Putting Virginia first in Roanoke, Danville, and Bedford. This is WFXR News First at 10.
Tonight, Congressman Ben Cline and Denver Riggleman held a joint town hall in Bedford County.
They faced questions about immigration, energy, infrastructure, and much more. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kathleen Stone.
And I'm Len Stevens. WFXR's Ford Carson was at that town hall. He joins us now live in Bedford. Ford?
Len, I'd say about 100 people were at tonight's meeting. One of the topics to come up is the possible impeachment of President Trump, and safe to say, neither congressman is a fan of the inquiry. Congressman Cline and Riggleman fielding more than a dozen different questions over 90 minutes to a packed room. Both are freshmen in the House minority and expressed frustration about political gridlock and an overbearing national government, especially ahead of an election year.
Every day that goes by in Washington, my days in Richmond, I remember more and more fondly.
The pair agreed on most things, especially Congress's impeachment inquiry into President Trump, taking time away from issues that affect their constituents.
Impeachment is a distraction and a political move on the part of the Speaker to undo the election, and we need to get back to the issues that we're talking about tonight.
Issues both on the national level, like draining the swamp, investing in infrastructure and securing good trade agreements, and the local level, like combating addiction and helping small business. Congressman Riggleman says one issue in particular, illegal immigration, is on both levels, with cartel activity in his district stemming from the southern border.
It's bad, and I think we need to have some common sense conversation about what's going on the border and how the whole pipeline works and how it gets to places, you know, like Mecklenburg County, Pittsylvania County, Lunenburg County, Halifax County.
Both closing with a call for bipartisanship and saying they'll use their backgrounds, Cline as a prosecutor, Riggleman as a security expert, to best serve their districts. I should mention there were no protesters there tonight, and aside from one comment about time during a green energy question, there were no hecklers either. Live and local in Bedford County, Ford Carson, WFXR News.
Thank you, Ford. A death investigation is underway in Henry County. Deputies there say a woman was found dead inside her home on Staples Avenue in Ridgeway. Investigators say the call for this came in just after 5 this morning. They say the woman is 57-year-old Catherine McDaniel. They called a medical examiner out to the scene today, and an autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow to determine the cause of death.
A Salem man is out on bond after being arrested on 7 counts of possession of child pornography. We broke the story first on our WFXR News app. David Farley was arrested last Thursday as part of an ongoing investigation. Salem police worked with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force on this case. No other details were released.
The Lynchburg Police Department is investigating an armed robbery and attempted armed robbery late last night. Officers were called out to the Z-Mart on Park Avenue right around 10:30. That's where they say someone showed a knife but ran off without getting any money.
About 15 minutes later, they say the same person threatened a cashier at Mr. Food, took some money and left. Now let's take a look at some surveillance video here. The robbers, described as about 6 feet 2 inches tall at the time, wearing black pants, a black Nike hat, black shoes, and you see there a blue and yellow sweatshirt with a white stripe and the letters PRSH across the middle of that shirt.
We're learning tonight a Martinsville doctor charged with illegal drug distribution died before being brought to trial. A release from the Justice Department states DEA agents found Dr. Vincent Jones unresponsive when they went to arrest him. He was taken to the hospital where he died the next day. WFXR did some digging and found that Jones was the owner of Community Family Care. He was facing 7 counts of distributing oxycodone outside the scope of professional practice and without a legitimate medical purpose. Federal officials moved to dismiss that case today. A stretch of the Blue Ridge Parkway that was closed for about a month is now back open after repairs. Officials first closed the parkway from milepost 106 to 112 after they found material under the road was settling, causing unsafe driving conditions for motorcyclists. Roanoke City Council is set to vote tomorrow on a resolution to ask Congress to pass legislation that would set aside money to address a backlog of repairs in the national park system.
A new upscale student housing complex is being planned near the Virginia Tech campus in Blacksburg. The 500-unit complex is expected to house more than 1,500 students and will be built in 2 phases. The first to be finished as early as fall of 2021. It's going to include a resort-style pool, fitness center, study lounges, and a parking garage. Core Spaces has a number of these complexes, which are called Hub on Campus. It has developed 32 properties across the nation and has more under development right now. Students and teachers in Amherst County are in mourning. Jessica Murdoch, an elementary school teacher, died recently after fighting a rare and aggressive form of cancer, T-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia. She was 31 years old.
WFXR's Santiago Millihuber spoke with the mother of one of Jessica's former students about how she was crucial in helping her son with his learning disability.
At that time, he couldn't even open a book correctly. I mean, he is pretty severely dyslexic.
6 years ago, Heather Davila's son Brody entered Jessica Murdoch's first grade class.
And within just a few weeks of entering that class, it was very apparent that he was struggling, and more so than just your basic struggle.
Jessica acted quickly to get Brody the help and testing he needed. And it made all the difference.
He received his IEP when we got back from spring break of his first grade year, which is super early intervention, and has just made a world of difference. I mean, he is pretty much a B student now. Reading is not his toughest subject.
Jessica was also there for Heather as a friend.
Jessica was just right there with me the whole time. I mean, she literally held my hand in a meeting. It just all hit me at one time. I just broke down and just sobbed and cried, and they were like just right there, you know, patting my shoulder, it's going to be okay.
Jessica was diagnosed with leukemia this past summer. Brody and Heather prayed for her.
As time went on and things did not go as everyone, of course, had hoped and prayed, it's just devastating. I mean, just a very, very sad time.
Heather says Jessica kept her classroom welcoming and her lessons innovative. She was well loved by the students and adults at her school. Local in Amherst, Santiago Millihuber, WFXR News.
Santiago also spoke with Jessica's husband, Justin. He was not able to speak on camera, but he did say he wants everyone to know something.
Yeah, he says it was always Jessica's dream in life to be a wife, a mother, and a teacher. And she got to do all 3 of those things in just a short period of time.
I have always had so much respect for teachers. They can affect so many people in positive ways. Jessica obviously did. And in this Cancer Awareness Month, it's important to realize how deadly these cancers are, how quickly she went from diagnosis to passing away.
Well, and how important it is for research. You know, that's what the real fight is here. Yeah. We want to honor those who battle cancer, but we also want to remember that there's more we can do to help in research.
Indeed. Now, in other news, Virginia's 2020 Teacher of the Year says she's looking forward to all the opportunities this title is going to bring. We caught up with Andrea Carson Johnson, a 12th grade teacher at Salem High. She was selected from a list of 8 regional winners, and she is now a nominee for the 2020 National Teacher of the Year.
Really excited to have this platform to bring spotlight not only to what I'm doing, but to the amazing initiatives that educators all across Virginia. Like that, to me, is going to be the coolest part, to have a voice for my peers who are doing amazing things. I'm just so excited for the opportunities that are going to unfold as a result of this.
I think her enthusiasm is infectious. The National Teacher of the Year is going to be announced next spring in a ceremony at the White House.
Years cancer-free, and I'm out here today to celebrate that along with my other friends who have gone through pretty much the same thing I have.
Ahead, the best victory lap of all. Martinsville Speedway has again gone pink and hosted some very brave cancer survivors.
Plus, children taken from mothers and put up for adoption for profit. Coming up, what we're learning about the scope of this multi-state conspiracy.
I'm Jermaine Farrell in the house. Here's what the WFXR sports team is cooking up for you for tonight's Sportscast. Our David de Guzman takes a look at the Patrick Henry Patriots in our Friday Night Blitz game of the week. This and more later in sports.
We could see some pockets of fog in the morning hour, so you're getting the kids ready to hang out at the bus stop in the morning. We're going to have to be contending with a little bit of fog. Temperatures on the chilly side. Get that jacket out. Temperatures will be just about 50 degrees, rising over 70 for the walk home. My full forecast coming up after the break.